South of Midnight. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little synopsis and then we're gonna go from there. So, South of Midnight is a 2025 action adventure game developed by Compulsion Games and published by Xbox Game Studios. So, the game is set in a fictionalized American Deep South. It was released for Windows and Xbox Series XS on April 8, 2025. Upon release, it received generally positive reviews from critics. Also, it's a day one release on Game Pass. I have Game Pass. It's amazing. If you don't want to be spending a whole bunch of money on these separate games, go and get Game Pass. I didn't know it was like that until I got it recently. I know Expedition 33, Clear Expedition is coming out in a couple days. So that's Game Pass right there. $70 I don't gotta spend. But anyway, I digress. South of Midnight. Like I said, I have put in six and a half hours of this game. I am a little bit more than halfway through. It is it's not super long, but I can beat this game fairly quick. I love this game. This game is dope. I love Hazel Flood. Out of all the video game characters that I have played, this character is the most relatable to me. A black protagonist from the South. I picked up on the lingo, the different kind of dynamics with the characters, the vibes, it's just little distinct stuff, the sounds. Like, I'm from the South, but I ain't from like the deep South, like where she's at, but I can kind of relate to some things that she's going through. So this game is a plus for me. I love it. I love it. And the story that they're doing with this is fire. I like how she's a girl, like I said, girl from the South. She is starting to know a little bit more about her history, about like the Weavers, her family history. The story deals with like the um the loss, grief, loss, family, childhood trauma. This game is pretty dark. If you really sit down and like play it, this game is dark. It has some lighthearted stuff throughout, but this does have some like serious adult dark themes to it, which I find very interesting. And I like how they put this together, or weaved it together, I should say. So no, the character, we got Hazel Flood. She's beginning to be my new favorite character. She is, in the beginning, not to spoil nothing major, but in the beginning, it's her. She's living with her mom. I believe she's in high school or college. She's she's in track, and I believe her father is not in her life anymore. I think he had died or passed away or whatever happened to him. I don't know, but he's not in the picture. And then all of a sudden, a big giant hurricane or big flood just comes down and wipes everything out. And now the mom and her get separated, and now she has to go on an adventure to find her mom. But throughout the adventure, she starts to know more and more about her family and her family history, her grandma, her aunt, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. And along the way, she is interacting with these like mythical creatures. You riding on a big giant catfish that talks. This game is reminding me of Princess and the Frog, the Disney animated movie. But it's a little bit more mature vibes. But no, the story The story is definitely there, and I knew the story was going to be a standout when I played it. Because looking at the trailers before this game came out, I was like, okay, they definitely going to be dealing, or they definitely going to be honing in on the story, more the story aspects of the game, not so much the gameplay, but how the story is written. Now, I'm gonna get to the gameplay in a minute. But yeah, the story is super dope so far. I cannot complain with how it's going. I love the characters. I love Hazel. She's my new favorite right now. And um yeah, the characters I talked about. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. I'm gonna just talk about Hazel. That's gonna be it. Y'all need to play this game for yourselves. Short and sweet and to the point. Um Gameplay. So this game is surprisingly difficult. I'm not gonna hold you. I did die a couple times throughout some uh fights through some levels. So you really, when you fight enemies, you really gotta strategize and prioritize on who you need to take out first, because these enemies are gonna gang up on you and they're not gonna give you no room to breathe at all. So you need to back up, get space, take out who you need to take out first, and go from there. But I love the powers. He has like this weaving magic skill with the two, I don't even know what you call them, but she fights with those. And then there's also a skill tree. It's not too complicated. It's not like a God of War, DMC, none of that. Like, the skill tree is very simple. It gives you what you need. You can upgrade to more power. You can do like aerial attack, not aerial attacks, but you can do like um you know what? I'm not even gonna go into detail with that. I'm gonna leave it there. It's a decent skill tree. But the gameplay aspect, it's I'm satisfied. I'm not mad at it. I know they focus more on the story instead of the actual like fighting mechanics. And they also have platforming on here too. So what I noticed, and I like how they added this detail. I don't know if they did this intentionally, but I picked up on it. Hazel is in track. The way she runs and the way she jumps, you can definitely tell this girl is very athletic, and she's in track and field. And the way she runs with her arms like straight, and the way she jumps and lunges over to different places and things, you can tell this girl is in track. So I like how they added that little detail that I caught on. But no, the gameplay, the platforming, the fighting, super dope, and the way that you fight and use certain sounds, chef's kiss, fuego. And speaking of the soundtrack, or speaking of the sound, you need to have headsets for this game. I love the way whenever she like double jumps, or whenever she fights certain enemies, does a special move, does the little weaving powers, you hear like a faint echo, and you hear like faint like noises, um or faint like voices in the background, and it's dope. I like that. So the sound is definitely there as well, and the soundtrack. Let me not get to the soundtrack yet. Let me keep on. I'm still on the sound effects. Now, as I've said, I am from the southern region, and certain sounds that I picked up on, I'm like, oh, that sound brought me back to where I was from. They really captured that. Like, okay, you are smack dab in this environment, and whoever can relate, epic. Love it. Love it. I love the I don't even know what you call it, but it's like certain bird noises or certain like animals that if you from the South, you know what I'm talking about. So I automatically picked up on all that stuff, and it immediately in my memories brought me back. So I like how they did that with certain sounds in certain environments. Um, soundtrack soundtrack is dope. I love when you go into certain levels or go to like uh fight fight areas, the music change and it gets more serious. And I love like when you're like running around, you hear like children in the background singing, or you hear like that organ playing. It makes you, it really, I'm telling you, this game makes you feel like you at home. Well, I'm at home. I don't know if anybody else can relate, but for me, I can't. So no, this is black excellence at its finest right here. And plus, this game came right along with Sinners 2. Coincidence? I don't know. But yeah, overall, I give this game between a 7 and an 8. The fighting mechanics is simple, it's not too complicated, but I'm not mad at it. They could have did better with that. My headset went out. They could have did better with that, but I'm not mad at it. The platforming is there, cool, climb, jump. The story though, that's what I care about the most. The story. And so far so good. So far so good on this story. I cannot complain. So if you have not played South of Midnight, if you have thought about getting it, go and get it. Go and get it. And if you have Xbox Game Pass, it comes with it. So, and it's like I said, it's fairly quick too. So it's 14 chapters. I am a little bit more than halfway done with this game. So I'll get done with this in like within the next week or so, hopefully. And then we'll get back on Assassin's Creed. But no, yeah, if you don't get the game, I highly recommend you go get it. This game is going to be one of the standouts for this year. And like I said in my last stream, I think this game is going to get nominated for like best story or best art direction. I love the way that this game is animated too, like the graphics wise. It's giving me that Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse type feel. I don't know what to call it, like stop motion type of stuff, but it works. I don't know how to explain it. It just works.